Hello Stampers! I've got a cute little fun fold card for you today. This is a corner latch card. It's so cute the way it just latches in there. You have this triangle piece here and it comes right on there to hold your card closed. And it's just so cute. On the inside you can decorate it. And we're going to be making this today. And we're going to be bringing out this fox from the Nature's Beauty Stampin' Up stamp set. This is another great set by Stampin' Up. I mean, you can do so many things with it. I've used it a million times already. And you can find this in their annual catalog. And also we're going to be using the new Welcoming Wood stamp set for our background on our card. We'll be using this here. And also one of the sentiments from that stamp set to go in the inside, which reads, "Every season brings its own wonder." So that is our card for today, and we're going to get going with our background panels, I believe. Let's do those first. So we're going to stamp the inside of our card first today. And this is a 4 by 5.25 piece of basic white. And we're going to ink it up with, or stamp up with, Memento Tuxedo black ink. And again, this is out of the Welcoming Wood stamp set. And we're going to stamp it so the trees go off the top of the panel. You don't want your trees down below that, because then it'll look like your trees are just chopped off at the top. So we don't want that happening. So I have just some partial trees there. We're going to set that aside, and we're going to bring over our other panel. This is the one from the outside flap. And this is 2.5 by 4, and this piece will go here. So we want our trees all over this one. Move that. And again with Memento Tuxedo black. And again, we want to make sure that we stamp those so that they go off the top of the panel. Nice firm stamping there. And there's our background for that front of our card. We're done with that image. I'm going to bring this back over, and since we have our Memento Tuxedo black still out, let's put our sentiment for our inside of our card in here. And this sentiment comes out of the Welcoming Woods. And there we go. Every season brings its own wonder. Okay, those two panels are done. So we're going to set those aside. And let's start on our main image panel now. So we're going to bring this panel in. This is our main image panel, and it's 3 by 4. It's basic white. And I want a little hill in our scene here. This is a 3 by 5 post-it note, and I'm going to rip a hill in this, and I'm going to rip it from the outside up into the sticky and then back down. That way we have some sticky on our post-it note still that we're going to use for our mask for our snow. And we're going to put it about here. Yeah, this is just a, a guesstimate. I guesstimate everything, just everything. So we're going to start with our background colors for our sky, and I'm starting with Bermuda Bay and a blending brush, and I'm going to start in the middle of the panel here in a circular motion, and then work my way out to the sides a little bit. I want to leave some area here that's white, like just all around this. I don't want to come all the way to the edges with this color. Okay, so that was our Bermuda Bay, and we're going to go to Pacific Point next. We're going to go to a different blending brush, our blue blending brush here. And I'm going to again start in the middle. And I'm going to put some color in here and not cover up all of that Bermuda Bay. I want some Bermuda Bay showing above that. And if you find that you've covered it up, you just go back in with your Bermuda Bay brush and you can blend it out a little bit more and bring some of that back in. Just as easy as that. Okay, now we're going to do some stamping, and we're going to go back to our Tuxedo Black from Memento. And there's this little brushy stamp, and we're going to use that for our background here. I'm going to stamp it along the edge of our post-it note, some on our post-it note, the bottom of it on our post-it note, and then some will go onto the paper. And you're going to stamp them different heights, and that way they just look more natural. There we go. Set that aside just for a moment. Okay, so now we're going to move this down. We're going to take this off and move it down and over a little bit. That way our image isn't like, if we just brought it straight down, we'd have a hill and a hill. And this way, this one's a little over to that way just a bit. We're going to ink our little brush stamp up again. And we're going to add some of those twigs in here, like they're popping out of the snow. Here we go. And now we can take that off. See, they look like they're coming out of the snow now. Super simple to do. And you get such a great effect from that. Okay, so we're going to set that aside. And we're going to use a piece of white cardstock. I'm going to stamp our fox. Staying with this Memento Tuxedo Black. Again, this fox is out of the Nature's Beauty stamp set. If you haven't gotten it by now, oh, I think you really need it. So there's our fox. We're going to color it in, and it colors in really quickly because we're just using one color to color it in with. We're using a Stampin' Blend marker. It's the Light Cinnamon Cider. And I'm going to use the brush end. I'm just going to go along the top of his ear here. Okay, and down around his eyes. It's okay if you go over his eyes because we're going to brighten them back up here. I'm going to leave his chest white. So I'm going to come down for his leg and get his front leg. Color the rest of his body, but you want to leave that chest white. The tip of his tail is also left white, but the rest of it you can color in. Boy, and just like that, he's all colored. Whoop. Just like that, I said, and then I noticed I missed a spot. 2 spots. Okay, so he's all ready to cut out. We're going to get our paper snips out here. This is an easy image to cut out. There's not a lot of weird angles, like you're not cutting around legs or anything like that, like you do with the deer from that set. Let me just get it all cut out here. Just like that, he's ready for the scene. get my multi-purpose glue out here, add him to my scene. Tell you, this is a quick card actually. I know it looks like it has a lot of pieces, but you can certainly put a bunch of these together fairly quickly. Okay, so there we have him on the scene. And I'm going to brighten his eyeballs up just a bit. I want to bring them a little bit back to life. I'm going to add a dot on each one with a white chalk marker. And then when it dries, I'm going to let it dry for a minute. In the meantime, we can put in shadows below the fox and this little bit of brush here. And I'm using a light smoky slate Stampin' Blend marker. So I'm just going to go under his body here. Okay, and then I'm going to lightly add just a few streaks, like he's casting a shadow down. Then I'm going to do the same with this, just under this big brushy parts. Just add a couple squiggles, and that's really light. I can bring that up so you can see it a little better. So there's our shadows cast, and now to fix his eyes so they're not so bright, I wanted them blue, so I'm adding blue to them and just dotting it in there. And it's a balmy blue Stampin' Right marker. It's a light balmy blue. So he's all ready to go for our card front. So now I'm going to flip my inky paper over, and we're going to start getting our card put together. So you're going to cut a panel. This is Coastal Cabana. You're going to cut a panel that's 4 1/4 by 11. Then you're going to fold it in half, and just for ease of showing you this, then you're going to take it and you're going to cut 2.75 inches off of the front of it. Okay, so that's your card base for this. I'm going to have all the dimensions down in below this video. Just click show more and you'll see them all down there. Plus I'll have all the links to all the products too, and you can shop my online store 24/7. So there's our card base, and I'm going to add this to the inside. As you see, I started this project without you. I stamped the back side, and then I realized I didn't have the camera going. So that didn't work out real well for me. So we did a do-over. Okay, so there's the inside panel. We're going to put our outside panel on. Let's use a bone folder here. Crease this a little better. There we go. So now I'm going to add my flap panel. That just gets centered on that outside flap. Our main image panel is going to go on a Coastal Cabana panel, which is 1/8 of an inch larger than the main image panel, and then it'll go on a basic black panel, which is 1/8 of an inch larger than our Coastal Cabana panel. So we're going to put these 3 panels together real quick. My glue's about had it. Have to break out a new one. That glue lasts a long time. I'm always surprised when you get to the end because I've been using it forever. Okay, and then this gets glued on the front of this panel with this card. And we're only gluing this side here, so this is where I'm concentrating my glue. Don't go past the halfway point. I may have. I'll wipe some of that off. Okay. Add that to the front of our card. There we have that, and then we just need our corner piece put on. And our corner piece, I cut a 2-inch Coastal Cabana square, and then I cut it in half diagonally. And for our black, I cut a 1.75 inch square of basic black, and then I cut it diagonally. And we're going to just put these together. I'm going to put my black on top of my Coastal Cabana here. Just centering it in the center. Here we go. And you can just use one layer if you want to, but I wanted to bring some more black into this project. Okay, so I'm going to turn that over. And I'm going to get my Stampin' Seal Plus out. This is super sticky and it really holds things together. So when we put this on, I only want adhesive on this side and along the bottom here. So I'm going to put it on. And I know I have some hanging off of this piece. I don't know if you can see that or not. And I just fold it back in on itself. I'm doing that because I really want that adhesive to come up to this corner and this corner. And there we have it. Now we're going to put this on. Corner of our card. There we go. And that's what latches your card in. So here's our project all done. Isn't it cute with the little latch? So I hope this video has inspired you to get those inks and paper and stamps out and create something special for somebody. Thanks for joining me. Bye.